Let's continue our discussion. Let's now go to compound financial instrument. Whenever we add extra features to the bonds become a compound financial instrument. Sir, bakit tayo nagdadagdag ng features dun sa bonds? Ang primary reason yan is to make the bonds more attractive to potential investors. So sa illustration natin earlier, si Globe, magdadagdag siya ng features dun sa bond indenture para mas madaling ibenta yung bonds kay X, Y, and Z. Okay? Now, we call it compound because meron siyang two components. Meron siyang liability and equity components. And according to PFRS 9, we have to separate the two. Ihiwalay natin yung class. Okay? So, sir, paano natin isi-separate yan? By applying the basic accounting equation. Assets equal to liabilities plus equity. Pag shuffle natin yung equation na yan, assets minus liabilities equal to equity. Okay, sir, paano yung application niya? Yung assets, pwede mong isipin na iyan yung buong compound financial instrument, ima-minus natin yung fair value of the liability, makukuha natin yung equity. So basically, yung equity is just the residual or yung remaining. Okay? So again, assets minus liabilities equal to equity. So yung assets, yun yung buong compound financial instrument natin. I-minus natin yung fair value of the liability, we get the equity. Okay? Now, we have two examples of compound financial instruments. Number one is convertible bonds, and number two is bonds with share warrants. Dito muna tayo sa convertible bonds. From the name itself, convertible, ibig sabihin, class, the bondholder has the right or option to convert bonds into shares. Okay? So, meron silang option, may right sila na i-convert yung bonds into shares. Sir, bakit nila i-convert yan? Well, ganito yan kasi, class. From bonds to shares. So, yung bonds, pag bondholder ka, entitled ka to interest income. Tama ba? And we know, interest income is fixed amount. Okay? So, kahit gaano kalaki yung kitain ng company, yung net income, fixed amount yung marireceive mo. And we know, kapag naging shareholder ka, shares, entitled ka to dividend income. And for example, yung mga bondholders, X, Y, and Z, so tingin nila, uy, sobrang ganda ng project ni Globe. Okay? For sure, sobrang magiging mataas yung net income yan. And we know, dividends are based on net income. So pag sobrang taas yung tingin nila sa net income, much better na meron silang shares instead of bonds na may fixed interest income. Alright? So again, pag dividend income, based on net income. So mas mataas yung potential na kitain mo if you are a shareholder. Alright? So now, convertible bonds is an example of compound financial instrument. Therefore, meron niyang liability and equity component. Actually, yung liability component niyan is the bonds payable. Alright? And yung equity component niyan, ang tawag nating class is a conversion privilege. Okay? So again, this is the equity component. As I mentioned earlier, kailangan ihiwalay natin yung dalawa na yan. Okay? And FYI, yung conversion privilege is presented as share premium, or we also call this APIC. Okay, di-discuss natin yan pag nandun tayo sa shareholders equity. Okay, now, apply muna natin, class. Let's go to illustrative example number 6. Illustrative example number 6 about convertible bonds. Requirement is prepare the journal entries for 2025 and 2026. On January 1, 2025, CBA company issued 10%, 3-year 1 million convertible bonds at 105. Ano ibig sabihin ng 105? 105%. 1 million times 1.05. Nakuha mo ba, class, yung 1,050,000? Okay. So, ibig sabihin, yung convertible bonds natin, which is the compound financial instrument, it amounts to 1,050,000. And kailangan natin siyang i-separate into liability and equity. Alright? Each 1,000 peso bond is convertible into 8 shares, underline mo yun, with par value of 100, underline mo din yung par value. Principal is due at maturity, but interest is due annually at each year end. On issuance date, the bonds were selling at a yield to maturity or market rate of 12% without the conversion option. So kapag bonds payable lang, kapag stand-alone na bonds payable, 12% daw yung effective rate niya. And we know, yung effective rate, yan yung ginagamit natin para makuha natin yung present value. Okay? Now, on December 31, all of the bonds were converted. So, ang gagawin ko dyan, this is the compound financial instrument. Kailangan ko ihiwalay siya into bonds payable and tawagan na nating CP, conversion privilege. Okay? Now, kukunin ko muna yung fair value ng bonds payable and then yung residual, yun yung conversion privilege, which is the equity account. Okay? So, paano gagawin natin dyan, sir? Well, compute natin yung present value, okay, of the bonds. So, present value muna tayo ng principal. Sige, compute natin yung PV factor. So, ang gagamitin natin dito, class, effective rate is 12%. Okay? So, nominal rate, tayo dito. Nominal rate is 10% and then effective rate is 12%. And period natin is, nakalagay dyan, 3 years. Alright? So, gagawin ko dyan, 1.12. Walang given na PV factor. So, compute natin. 1.12, press divide, equals M plus 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, 0.7117, multiply ko yan sa principal na 1 million times 1 million. Present value ng principal na kuha class is 711,780. Okay? 711,780. And then, present value of interest is, okay, so interest natin is 1 million times 10%, that is 100,000. 100,000, multiply ko dun sa present value of ordinary annuity, recall memory ko siya, 2.4018, nakuha ko dito class, 240,183. Okay, so round up na lang natin, 240,183, add natin lahat yan, 711,780 plus 240,183, you get 951,963. Okay? So, ibig sabihin class, yung fair value of the bonds is 951,963. Sabi ko kanina, ima-minus mo lang yan. Okay? Assets minus liability is equal to equity. Assets, 1,050,000 minus 951,963. 951,963. Your equity or the conversion privilege is 98,037. Got it? Now, since bonds payable yan, gagawa ka dyan ng amortization table. Pakita ko na rin. Mabilisan lang. So, we have date, we have the interest paid, interest expense, and then, we have the amortization, and we have the carrying amount. Since 3 years lang naman yan, gawin na natin yung table. January 1, 2025, December 31, 2025, December 31, 2026, December 31, 2027. Interest paid natin is based on 10%, and then interest expense natin is based on 12%. 1 million times 10% is 100,000 per year. Okay? 100,000, first year, second year, and third year. Alright? Now, carrying amount natin ng bonds, 951,963. Kompletuhin natin class yung amortization table para lang complete yung mapakita ko sa inyo. 951,963. And then, multiply natin by 12%. You get here 114,236. Amortization natin class is 14,236. Carrying amount, dapat maging 1 million yan. So, increasing, 966,199. Iko-complete ko na class ha. Interest expense natin 2026 is 115,944. Amortization is 15,944. Carrying amount is 982,142. And sa last year, dapat equal na siya sa face value of 1 million. Therefore, amortization natin is 17,558. Okay? And interest expense is 117,858. So, pinakita ko lang sa inyo class na yung bonds payable na yan, syempre, i-amortize natin yan because they're measured at amortized cost using the effective interest method. I'll show you the journal entries. January 1, 2025, nung in-issue yung compound financial instrument, debit cash, how much yun na-receive natin? 1,050,000. And then, ihiwalay natin yung bonds payable, credit bonds payable, always at face amount, 1 million. And then, issued at a discount, tama? So, 1 million minus 951,963, that is 48,037. Discount on bonds payable, 48,037. And then, i-present natin yung conversion privilege. Actually, class, share premium yan. No? So, lagay lang natin share premium conversion privilege. Okay, basta equity account yan. Alright? Na-compute natin is 98,037. Next journal entry, December 31, 2025. Meron tayong interest expense, debit interest expense, credit cash. Bayad tayo ng 100,000. And then, amortize tayo, 14,236, debit interest expense, credit discount on bonds payable, 14,236. Alright? So, ano ba nangyari dyan? On December 31, 2026, kinonvert daw lahat into equity. Okay? So, entry natin, December 31, 2026. Siyempre, update muna natin, debit interest expense, credit cash, 100,000. And then, amortize tayo, debit interest expense, credit discount on bonds payable, 15,944. Na-update na natin, pwede natin siya i-convert into equity. Okay, so take note class, at the date of conversion, yung bonds payable natin, meron siyang carrying amount na 982,142. Tama lang? So, ganito gagawin ko dyan class. Sa conversion, debit bonds payable, so take note, i-recognize na natin yan kasi gagawin na natin yung shares. Okay, at face value, 1 million. Credit discount on bonds payable, tatanggalin na natin yan. 1 million minus 982,142, you get 17,858. Okay? Credit discount, 17,858. Now, class, next natin is credit share capital. Ito yung at par value. So, computing nga natin. So, sabi dyan, tingin ka dun sa second sentence. No? Each 1,000 bond is convertible into 8 shares with par value of 100. Ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. 1 million yung total na bonds natin. Alright? Each 1,000 daw. So, divide ko siya by 1,000. Multiply ko siya sa 8 shares and par value na 100. Okay? So, 1 million divide by 1,000 times 8 times 100. Nakuha nyo ba yung 800,000? Yes. Okay. 800,000. And then, credit share premium. Ito yung balancing figure natin. For example, ordinary shares yung in-issue natin na shares. Okay. Credit share premium, ordinary shares. So, balancing figure natin, meron tayong 1 million minus 17,858 minus 800,000. Share premium natin is 182,142. 182,142. Okay. Now, since na-convert na natin yung class, huwag mong kalimutan na tanggalin sa books yan. Wala tayong share premium conversion privilege. Debit share premium conversion privilege, credit share premium ordinary shares. I-reclassify mo siya. Okay? So that is 98,037. Ayan. So this is your journal entry. Take note, kapag nag-convert tayo, wala kang gain or loss. Kasi balancing figure natin is share premium. Right? Now, may nakalagay pa dyan, CBA incurred stock issuance cost of 20,000. Well, pag stock issuance cost, i-charge mo lang sa share premium yan. Bawasan mo lang yan. Debit share premium, ordinary shares, credit cash, that is 20,000. So, parang bond issue cost. Diba? Sa bond issue cost, i-charge natin sa premium. O ganun din sa stock issuance cost. Debit share premium, bawasan mo yan. Ordinary shares, 20,000. And that is your cash. Alright, so these are your journal entries for convertible bonds. Apply natin yung class sa multiple choice. Let's go to main problem numbers 8 and 9. Number 8 muna tayo. So, napakita ko ni journal entries and pwede ko nang tanggalin. Dito na lang. Erase ko na to. Let's go to main problem number 8. Okay. So, yeah. Now, sabi dyan, question is, how much is the increase in the shareholders' equity arising from the issuance of the convertible bonds? Jing Company issued, so main problem number 8, issued 5 million face value, 12% bonds at 110. So, 5 million times 1.1. Tama ba, class, yung compound financial instrument natin, the convertible bond, is 5.5 million. Okay? Separate natin yan into bonds payable and conversion privilege. Okay. Maturing on January 1, 2026 and paying interest semi-annually on January 1. It is estimated that the bonds would sell only at 103 without the conversion feature. So, ibig sabihin, class, yung 103, kapag bonds payable lang, okay, yun yung fair value niya. Kapag walang conversion option. So 5 million times 1.03, you get 5,150,000. So, yun yung fair value of bonds payable. Alam natin, class, yung conversion privilege, which is the equity, yun yung residual or, yes, the remaining. So, 5.5 million minus 5,150,000. Sagot mo dyan, class, 350,000. Kaya sagutan natin dyan sa how much is the increase in the shareholders' equity. Answer natin dyan, class, 350,000. So basically, we have yung buong compound financial instrument, minus natin yung fair value of the bonds, we get the equity, which is the conversion premium. Letter A for number 8. Main problem, number 9. Okay. So yeah, what should it record as a loss on conversion of bonds? From the question pa lang, zero na agad yung sagot pa dyan. Dog na agad. Kasi pinakita ko earlier, kapag nagko-convert tayo, wala kang gain or loss doon. Kasi sa share premium natin nilalagay yan. Pero pakita ko ni journal entry. So, dog na yung sagot sa number 9. On April 30, Vinci Corporation had outstanding 12% 1 million face amount. Convertible bonds maturing April 30. Interest is payable on April 30 and October 31. On April 30, 2021, all of the bonds were converted into 40,000 shares, 10 par common stock on the date of conversion. So, updated balances binigay sa atin. Kaya mas madali siya. An amortized bond discount, 30,000. Each bond had the market value of 1,080. Each share of stock had the market price of 28. Actually, yung second and third bullet, ignore mo lang yan. Hindi importante yan. So, entry upon conversion, syempre, di-recognize sa atin yung bonds payable. Debit bonds payable, 1 million. Sabi yan sa first bullet, meron daw discount na 30,000. Credit discount, 30,000. And then, credit share capital at par value, complete natin, class. So, sabi dyan, 40,000 shares daw, 10 yung par, okay? So, 40,000 times 10, that's 400,000, right? And then, balancing figure, again, share premium, ordinary shares. So, tignan natin. So, 1 million minus 30,000 minus 400,000, that is 570,000. Ayan. So, yun yung journal entry natin. That's why wala tayong loss conversion. Sagot mo dyan, dog for number 9, 0. Okay, so that's our first example of compound financial instrument. Let's now go to the second one, bonds with share warrants. Actually, medyo na-discuss natin yung share warrants nung nag-discuss tayo ng investments. Alright? Pero this time, doon naman tayo sa issuer ng bonds, or issuer side, or liability side. Now, when you say share warrants, the bondholder has a right to buy shares at a fixed price. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin share warrant, yung bondholder, meron siyang right to buy shares at a fixed price. And usually, yung fixed price na mas mababa kaysa dun sa market price. Alright? Now, take note dito, class, na si bondholder, meron siyang bonds. And then, pag bumili siya ng shares, meron din siyang shares. So, ibig sabihin, bondholder ka na, at the same time, shareholder ka. Okay? Unlike dito ka sa convertible bonds, from bondholder, magiging shareholder ka, isa lang. Pero dito sa bonds with share warrants, bondholder ka, and then shareholder ka pa. So, entitled ka sa interest income plus dividend income. Okay? So, yun yung difference lang. Dito, interest income lang or dividend income. Dito naman, interest income plus dividend income. Alright? Now, ang difference ng dalawa, well, bukod sa minention ko kanina, na dito, entitled ka sa interest and dividends, for bonds with share warrants, the bonds payable is not derecognized. Okay? So, if maalala mo, earlier, kapag nag-convert tayo ng bonds, nagde-debit tayo ng bonds payable. Pero kapag in-exercise mo yung share warrants, hindi mo i-recognize yung bonds payable. Again, because still, bondholder ka pa rin. Alright? What else? Kapag bonds with share warrants, meron kang cash payment. So, meron kang required cash payment. Alright? Kasi, syempre, fixed price. Unlike yung convertible bonds kanina, wala kang kailangang i-shell out na cash. Alright? So, yun yung main difference nila. Bonds payable is not recognized and kailangan may cash payment. Okay? So, apply natin yan para mas ma-visualize natin. Let's go to illustrative example number 7. I think this is our last illustrative example. Illustrative example number 7, bonds with share warrants. Requirements sa ating class is prepare the journal entries. Alright, now let's read the given. On January 1, 2025, XYZ company issued 3-year 10% 1,000 peso bonds at 97. So that's 97%. Each bond has detachable share warrants entitling the holder to buy 10 shares, underline mo yung 10 shares, and par value of 100 at 120 per share. So yung kaninang fixed price, yung 120 pesos per share yan. Alright? And shortly after issuance, the bonds are selling at 95 X warrants. Pag sinabing X warrants, without warrants. Okay, so ganito yung class. So again, illustrative example number 7, ganito gagawin ko dyan. So sabi dyan, meron daw 1,000 times 1,000 peso bonds times 97%. Na-compute nyo ba yung 970,000? Okay. So ibig sabihin, yung bonds with share warrants natin, dahil dito, bonds with share warrants, yun yung compound financial instrument natin, meron siyang issue price na 970,000. Okay. Now, ihiwalay natin yan into bonds payable and tawagin natin siyang share warrants outstanding. Okay? So, kanina yung convertible bonds, meron siyang bonds payable and meron siyang conversion privilege, which is share premium. Sa bonds with share warrants naman, meron tayong bonds payable and share warrants outstanding, which is also a share premium account. O basta equity account yan. Sabi diyang class, shortly after issuance, the bonds are selling at 95 X warrants. Kapag daw stand-alone na bonds, 95. So, how much yung 95? Well, 950,000. So, 1 million times 95%, that's 950,000. Difference sila, 970 minus 950, again, residual yung equity, so this is 20,000. Okay, na-separate na natin yung liability and equity component. Journal entry, January 1, 2025, debit cash, na-receive natin is 970,000. Credit bonds payable, always at face amount. Pero since 950,000 yan, 1 million minus 950, ibig sabihin, meron tayong discount on bonds payable, 50,000. And then yung equity natin, tawagin natin siyang share premium, share warrants. Okay? That is 50,000. Okay, so that's your journal entry, January 1, 2025. So let's go to the second paragraph. Half of the warrants were exercised on September 21, 2027. The remaining half of the warrants expired on December 31, 2029. Okay, merong nag-exercise, yung 50%, yung 50% nag-expire. Doon muna tayo sa exercise. September 21, 2027. Take note, class, na ang magbabayad dito is si bondholder. siya yung magbabayad. So tayo, as issuer, tayo yung makaka-receive ng cash. Tama lang? So, makaka-receive tayo ng cash, mag-i-issue tayo ng shares dun sa mga bondholders. Ganun mangyayari doon. So, meron tayong debit cash. How much yung cash natin? So, ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. Sabi dyan, tingin ka dun sa second sentence, each bond has one detachable share warrant entitling the holder to buy 10 shares. So, kung 1,000 yung total bonds, sabi dyan, kalahati daw yung nag-exercise, multiply natin by 50%, and then, by 10 shares, times ko sa 10, and then par value, or 120 yung fixed price, times 120. Sige nga, 1,000 yung total bonds, okay, 50% nag-exercise, sabi dyan, to buy 10 shares, times 10, and then how much you buy nila? 120. Nakuha ko dito, class, 600,000. Okay, as issuer of bonds, yan yung marireceive natin from the shareholders, or from the bondholders, okay? Mag-issue tayo ng shares, credit share capital, alright? So, at par value yan, tama? So, 1,000 times 50% times 10. Ano yung par value dito? 100. Alright? So, 1,000 times 50% times 10 times 100, you get 500,000. Okay? And then, don't forget na exercise na. So, bawasan mo na to. Kailangan natin i-debit yan. Debit share premium, share warrants, kalahati daw. Tama ba? So, we have, okay, this should be 20,000 pala. Okay? So, 20,000 times 50%, we have 10,000. Kasi nag-exercise na eh. Tama? So, tignan natin. So, balancing figure, meron tayong 600,000 plus 10,000 minus 500,000. We get share premium, ordinary shares, 110,000. Ayan. Ito yung entry natin dun sa nag-exercise ng share warrant. So, ulitin ko lang, class. Tayo yung bondholder. Tama? Sorry. Tayo yung issuer. Okay? Si bondholder, magbabayad sa atin. Yun, yung debit cash. And then, mag-i-issue tayo ng shares dun sa bondholder. Kaya tayo merong share capital dyan. Take note, kapag nag-exercise yung mga bondholders, wala tayong gain or loss. So whether convertible bonds or bonds with share warrants, we do not recognize gain or loss. Lahat yan pupunta sa share premium, which is an equity account. Doon naman tayo sa the remaining half of the warrants expired on December. So, well, ang balance ng share warrants natin, meron tayong original na 20, nag-exercise yung 10 nag-expire. O, tanggalin na natin yan. Debit share premium share warrants, i-reclassify lang natin yan to share premium ordinary shares or kahit anong share premium na lang, right? It doesn't matter, basta i-reclassify natin siya, 10,000. Okay? So, these are the journal entries, December 31, 2029. Yan daw yung nag-expire na yung warrants. Alright? So, ganyan siya. Sige, ulitin ko. Ang difference sila, tingnan mo, bonds payable is not derecognized. Yung bonds payable natin, nandiyan pa rin yan. Siyempre, i-amortize mo yan. Hindi ko na lang pinakita. Pero basically, sa mga entries natin, hindi natin dinebit yung bonds payable. What else? Meron tayong required cash payment, which is 600,000, na hindi siya applicable kapag convertible bonds. Kasi kapag convertible bonds, wala namang cash na payment yan. Okay, sige. So, let's answer our remaining exercises. Let's go to main problem number 6. Main problem number 6. Okay, erase ko na to. Main problem number 6. Let's answer. Question is, what amount should it report as bonds payable? Okay, bonds payable daw. So, ganito gagawin natin dyan. Let's read the given. On December 30, Angelic Company issued 5,000 of its 8%, 10-year, 1,000 peso face value with detachable share warrants at 110. So, 5,000 times 1,000 times 1.1 kasi 110. So, 1.1 yan. Times 1.1. Nakuha mo ba yung 5.5 million? Okay. So, ibig sabihin, yung bonds with share warrants natin, which is basically yung compound financial instruments, we have 5.5 billion. Ihiwalay natin siya into bonds payable and share premium share warrants. Okay? So, nakalagay dyan. Detachable for 10, the par value is 20. Immediately after issuance, the market value of the bonds without the warrants, 5.4 million. So, given na. So, lagay mo lang 5.4 million. Now, 5.5 million, yung buong instrument, si bonds or yung liability component is 5.4. Difference nila is 100,000. Okay? What amount should it report as bonds payable? Sagot natin, class, letter dog, 5.4 million. Kapag ang tanong, how much yung equity component? Sagot mo dyan, 100,000. Okay? So, ganun na siya. Sige. Let's go to our last question is number 7. Main problem number 7. Okay. How much should be credited to capital in excess of par? Okay. Kathleen Company issued bonds with detachable stock warrants. Each warrant, ibig sabihin lang na detachable, okay? Ibig sabihin na pwede natin siya ibenta separately. Okay? Hindi na magmamatter yun. Ibig sabihin yun lang yung description, okay, ng share warrants. Pwede natin ibenta separately. Each warrant granted an option to buy one share of 40 par value. Underline mo yung 40 na par for 75 per share. Yung 75, yun yung fixed price. Okay, so underline mo din yan. 500 warrants were originally issued. And 4,000 was appropriated and credited to warrants. Ibig sabihin, class, yung 4,000, yun daw yung share premium share warrants natin, yun yung amount niya. Okay? If 90% of these warrants are exercised when the market price is 85 per share, ignore mo yung 85 kasi ang important sa atin is yung 75 per share kasi yun yung fixed price. How much should be credited to capital in excess of par? So how much daw yung credit to APIC? Basically, ang tanong is share premium. Okay? Ganito gagawin ko yung class. Debit cash agad. Kasi pag nag-exercise, makaka-receive tayo ng cash. Tama? How much? Ganito gagawin ko. 500 yung total warrants. 90% daw nag-exercise. Multiply ko by 90%. And then, to buy one share. Alright? And then, how much yung fixed price? 75 pesos. Ayun. Per share. 500 times 90%. Multiply by 1 times 75. Yung cash na marireceive natin is 33,750. Okay? Now, ang gagawin ko dyan, class, credit share capital, okay, ordinary shares, at par value naman. 500 times 90% times 1. How much yung par value? Times 40. Okay? So 500 times 0.9 times 1 times 40, nakuha natin dyan, class, is 18,000. And don't forget na nakalagay sa problem, sa middle portion, 4,000 was appropriated and credited to warrants. So, initially, yun yung parang nung sineperate natin, yung liability and equity, yung na-allocate sa equity is 4,000. Pero take note, 90% lang daw yung nag-exercise. 4,000 times 90%, that is 3,600. Debit natin yan. Debit, share premium, share warrants, 3,600. Okay, ang tanong sa atin sa problem is, how much should be credited, okay, to APIC? So, ito yung sagot. Share premium, ordinary shares, which is the balancing figure, let's compute, 33,750 plus 3,600 minus 18,000, sagot natin dyan, class, 19,350. So basically, ito yung question sa atin. Ayun, 19,350, letter A. Alright, so I think that's the last problem sa handouts natin. Let's now finish this topic by answering the remaining theory questions. Let's go to number 18. Okay, 1-8. Theory number 18. A bond or similar instrument convertible by the holder into fixed number of shares is, ang tawag natin dyan, convertible bond, okay, which is a type of compound financial instrument. Letter A for number 18. Number 19. Which statement is incorrect regarding compound financial instruments? A. Compound instruments have both a liability and equity component. That's true. And kailangan natin i-separate yan. B. Their component parts should be accounted for and presented separately. That's correct. Letter C. The split is made at the issuance and not revised for subsequent changes. That's also correct. At the date of issuance, sa mga examples natin, January 1, 2025, hinihiwalay na agad natin. Okay? Letter D, yung mali dito. Bakit, sir? When the initial carrying amount of compound financial instrument is required to be allocated to equity and liability, the liability component is assigned the residual. Mali yun. Yung residual natin is the equity component. Okay? After deducting from the fair value of the instrument, for the equity, baliktad. Okay? So, yung fair value, liability. Yung residual, equity. Dog is the incorrect statement. Number 20, cash proceeds from the issuance of the convertible bonds should be treated as, punta ka dun sa boy, liability for the fair value of the bonds and balance for the proceeds attributed to the conversion feature. Again, pag convertible bonds, ihiwalay natin. Bonds payable and the conversion privilege. Number 21, under PS 32. Actually, yun yung standards natin for the compound financial instrument. PS 32 is true. Which of the following is true? Ayan, for accounting for compound financial instrument. Number 1, the issuers shall classify a compound financial instrument as either financial liability or equity. Mali yan. Both yan, ihiwalay lang natin. Nakalagay kasi either. Okay? Mali yan. Number 2 yung tama. The issuer shall classify the liability or equity separately. Okay? So, boy for number 21, 2 only. Number 22, when bonds are issued with detachable warrants, what amount is recorded as share premium? Punta ka dun sa letter C, the excess of the proceeds over the fair value of the bonds. Okay, so basically, again, pag nag-issue ka, okay, yung proceeds natin, minus the bonds, difference is the share premium. Okay, so ayan, kaya letter C yan. Number 23, when bonds are converted into ordinary share, the ordinary share is recorded at the carrying amount and putak sa dog. Neither gains or losses resulting from the transaction are recognized. So again, whether convertible bonds or bonds with share warrants, wala tayong gain or loss. Lahat yan, share premium. Dog for number 23. Number 24, okay, for this one class, kung maalala nyo yung previous topic natin about debt restructuring, applicable din sa bonds yan. Okay? So, just to recall, there is a substantial modification of terms if the gain or loss is, kung maalala nyo class, 10% yung threshold natin. Okay? FYI na lang to, no? Naaral natin to from the previous topic. So, A, 10%. And number 25, for a troubled debt restructuring involving modification of terms, kasi class yung debt restructuring applicable din yan sa bonds payable. Okay? Which of the following specified in the new terms should be compared to the carrying amount? Kung maalala nyo, nagpe-present value tayo using the old effective interest rate. Boy, the present value of the new debt at the old or original interest rate. Boy for number 25. Okay, so I think nasagutan na natin lahat ng questions and illustrative examples. That's it for bonds payable and compound financial instruments.